Want to know who Aunt Louie is inspired by? It's this woman, Jemeker Thompson, a former drug dealer who rose to the top of the cocaine trade during the peak of the 1980s crack epidemic in the United States. She was based in South Central Los Angeles and had cocaine distributors in multiple US cities working for her. She would later be captured in 1993 because the love she had for her son made it impossible for her to miss out on the pleasure of seeing him during his 6th grade graduation. Now, if you knew the story of Jemeker, you know Snowfall is setting Louie up for something big. When Jemeker was 8 years old, she and her mother were evicted from their apartment in Los Angeles, and their belongings were put outside on the side of the road. During an interview, she said she remembers feeling embarrassed and ashamed that her life wasn't like that of her friends, and she knew at that moment she wanted money and to control everything. During her time at Hamilton High School, she ran track and was an above-average student, but that unwavering motivation to rise above her deleterious conditions eventually led to her entering the crack trade. Like Louie being introduced to the Snowfall audience as the scrappy girlfriend of a cannabis dealer named Jerome.
Look, I'm gonna give you the 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, what?
Hey, come beat this bitch ass. I ain't got no time for this.
Louie! Don't talk to me. Jerome!
Louie!
Jerome!
Louie!
Also now
come out here, deal with us.
Jemeker also joined the new world of crack as the girlfriend of a cannabis dealer named Anthony Daff Mosley. Side note right here, because I'm not going to get too much into Daff, but Daff is the man who inspired the Jerome character in Snowfall. The two of them were selling cannabis while she was still in high school, but once she was done with school, they both decided to step their game up. According to Thompson's memoir, Queen Pen, she had to perform oral sex on a bail bondsman named Willie to get their first ounce of cocaine in 1980. After that, it took no time for her and Daff to start selling up to 4 kilos a week. Later that year, once the bag was secured, they got married and bought a house in Encino, California. A couple of years later, in 1982, they had a son and named him Anthony.
And I started selling cocaine and I started making more money. And then I went from ounces to key to half a key to kilos, 50 to 100 to 500 kilos at a time. It was nothing for me to have like 500 kilos of cocaine in my garage, which could be street values of $10 million.
Everything Jemeker had ever dreamed of was coming true. She had the money, power, houses, cars, and a family that she cherished. Everything was moving along just as her and Daff planned, until it wasn't. And she had the same entrepreneurial spirit Louie has exhibited in recent seasons of Snowfall. Similar to how Louie helped Franklin run the legitimate nightclub business to help launder his money, Jemeker started a profitable and successful hair distribution business that law enforcement suspected was a front for money laundering. Also similar was Louie informing Teddy she almost went straight to the Colombians to get her cocaine. Jemeker not only thought about it, but she also did it. At the height of her reign, Jemeker was making $1 million a week. Her drug empire grew so successful, FBI agents informed her mother that they considered her daughter one of the biggest cocaine dealers in America. With one season left in the Snowfall series, after Louie has effectively cut Franklin out of the drug business, Louie just may grow her drug empire to the heights that Jemeker did. Around the time she started investing in different businesses to launder her money, she also began dating a man named Percy Bratton, who went by the alias Cheese. Things didn't work out between them, but they remained business partners. However, Cheese would later prove to be less than trustworthy when he cooperated with authorities and snitched on Jemeker after he was arrested with 10 keys in his car while selling product to an undercover agent. He made a deal with investigators, providing the evidence needed to indict Thompson. She subsequently fled LA and went into hiding. She went on the run for a couple of years, but would always sneak back to her mother's house to visit her son on the weekends, up until 1993 that is. In 93, Jemeker Thompson decided to return to LA to attend her son's 6th grade graduation ceremony, where law enforcement officials, suspecting her attendance, were promptly waiting.
It was my son's 6th grade graduation, June 1993. I was on the run for 18 months, and I showed up at my son's 6th grade graduation to surprise him. And as I approached these doors, the FBI came up to me very smoothly and asked me to follow them, because I was wanted. And I can remember just turning around and walking away with them. And just remember, my son seen me get arrested.
She was subsequently arrested, tried on, and convicted of charges related to drug trafficking and sentenced to 15 years in prison. Jemeker and 12 others were indicted on a charge of conspiracy to distribute cocaine and various counts of money laundering. She was tried alone, and a jury found her guilty on all counts. She was sentenced to concurrent terms of 180 months on 7 counts of the indictment. She tried to appeal the sentence by challenging the sufficiency of the evidence supporting her conviction and by challenging the judge's decision to place her at the high end of the applicable sentencing guideline range. In other words, she didn't feel that they proved her crimes were worth 180 months in prison. Ultimately, her appeal was rejected and she served 12 of her 15-year sentence.
I was sitting in my cell all alone. I had 2 choices. One, to serve God, the other, to kill myself. I just cried out to God and I said, Lord, if you can use anything, use me.
While in prison, Thompson developed a stronger faith in God and came to regret her previous involvement in the drug game. She also began serving as a minister to other inmates. Thompson was released from prison in 2005 after serving 12 years in a maximum security prison alongside Griselda Blanco. I'm sure you guys know who she is. She now serves as an evangelical minister at Second Chance Ministries in South Central LA, which she also owns. Still doing big things, I see. Today, Jemeker is remarried and her son Anthony is a professional skateboarder. Snowfall has many characters that are inspired by real people. If you haven't seen my video about who Irene the reporter is really based on, or who Leon is based on, then click the one you want to watch first or subscribe and come back later.